and I'm very honored to introduce our first speaker in this series, Professor Michael Delli Carpini of the University of Pennsylvania. Michael is a leading researcher on the role of citizens in democratic politics, with an emphasis on the impact of digital media on public opinion, public deliberation, and political participation. Michael's talk today is on the topic of digital media and democratic futures, which is also the title of an introductory chapter of a 2019 book that he edited on this topic.
Now, what we argue, which also comes across in the chapter that some of you read, is that these changes are neither inherently good nor inherently bad. What we were reacting to when we wrote the book was a sense of people that either this new, more small d democratic media environment was just an absolutely positive thing, or that it was problematic and we need to go back to the more natural, with natural in quotes, media environment that we had that dominated the mid to later part of the 20th century. And our argument was that, number one, there's no going back, but number two, that the affordances of any mediated environment, of any media regime, have both democratic and anti-democratic potential. In fact, I've come to believe that the greater the democratic potential of any information and communication technology is equally matched by a greater anti-democratic potential. That by the very nature of the way technology works, if it has democratic potential, it has an equal part of anti-democratic potential and therefore requires political will. And the outcome and its benefits or its problematic nature depends entirely on how we use it, how it's designed, how we understand it, how it's used by elites, how it's used by citizens, and how it's used by the media itself.
So a question that came to mind for me is about the role of organizations in shaping democratic futures through digital media. Organizations like nonprofits and political parties. In what ways do you see these different kinds of organizations shaping our democracies?
Organizations, I mean, the easy answer to that is that absolutely yes. That the balance between kind of a free open market system where everybody's on their own to both identify what's important, to identify how to speak and where to speak. I mean, you need structure. You need structure for this to work in a democratic fashion that's appropriate. And so the types of organizations that you mentioned, nonprofits, political parties, are crucial. No question about it. And the chapters in the Digital Media and Democratic Futures talks about some of the case studies are specifically on the role that nonprofits play. But I would expand what we mean by organizations that are important to this. The major news organizations have been replaced in terms of political power, or at least matched in political power, by organizations, private sector organizations like Google, like Facebook, like TikTok, like X or Twitter. And so the role that they play, often more to inhibit than enhance democratic engagement, is absolutely important.